Justicia, the AI crime chronicler file on X. Interesting crime theories. Subculture theories. People do not behave in the same way. They behave differently in similar situations. Because people's situation and action tools are the value judgments of the people to whom the behaviors are directed. In this respect, culture has two meanings. One covers all value judgments developed in a certain society, in a certain region, and at a certain date. The other is a way of life, thought, emotion, and behavior in the sense of civilization. These are expressed in nutrition, clothing, morality, and tradition, religion, and language. Culture in this broad sense can be observed in behavior and language. It is learned and passed down from generation to generation. It can be defined as the whole of behavioral images. By subculture is meant a social behavior and value system that exists separately from a supercultural behavior and value system. However, it is a part of the central value system. Groups living within a subculture retain elements of the super-civilization, but they retain certain behavioral patterns and value judgments that differ from the central civilization. Subcultural theories attempt to explain youth delinquency, particularly gang delinquency. Albert K. Cohen, 1955, Richard A. Cloward and Lloyd E. Olin, 1960, emphasized the conflicts between the values and goals of the dominant middle class, and the ability of lower-class youth to pursue these values and achieve them within the framework of causal reasoning on the theories of Cohen, Cloward, and Olin. Merton's theory of anime developed. According to Cohen, the reaction formation hypothesis is based on a psychoanalytic idea. As a defense mechanism, a person develops a behavioral style that opposes repressed impulse desires. According to Cohen, social structure causes such reaction formation in youth crimes. Juvenile delinquency, unlike adult delinquency, does not pursue economic goals. Young people steal things they cannot use and do not need. The subculture theory is based on White, 1943, and Cohen, 1955. There are two forms of socialization that are important in terms of criminality. Socialization is in relation to the social place within the society, class-specific socialization, and socialization within another cultural area where the resulting cultural conflict can lead to criminality. It is scientifically known that in a society where many social classes are known, socialization will proceed differently according to class-specific characteristics. Albert K. Cohen, 1961, described class-specific socialization long ago. The socialization process within the subclasses is usually relatively smooth. What the child will do is largely determined by his views. It is influenced by the comfort and spontaneous impulses of the parent and the requirements of household chores. From this anime situation, the following reactions that Cohen identified develop. 1. Reactions of being satisfied with the given situation, staying in one's own class. 2. Reactions of trying to achieve the middle-class goal despite inappropriate starting points. 3. Reactions of rejecting the middle-class goals and values for the benefit of one's own special subcultural value and norm system. Thus, in Islamic regions, theft is valid as an activity that has an important place, and where fame, superiority, and deep relaxation can be achieved. In our society, the general validity of the middle class's behavior patterns is guaranteed, first of all through criminal law, and their different socializations lead to criminality in conflict situations. In addition, the fact that members of the lower classes are educated to achieve their desires quickly, even if not legally, will cause them to strive for realities of particular importance. On the basis of this appreciation of social relations, which is necessary through the different situations of classes, today's criminality is understood, especially in the youth, as a result of the clash of values between the lower class and the middle class. The lower class difficulties that arise may not make a young person guilty, but rather a forced one. Undoubtedly, bad school education, insufficient vocational training, leads to inclusion in the lower class. These experiences lead to conflicts and disappointments. Social dissatisfaction will lead to opposition to the values shaped by the middle class and to criminality. Subculture theory explains criminality as a result of the offender's deviant socialization from the system of values and norms recognized as correct by the dominant in society. This theory was developed primarily by Albert K. Cohen, 1961. It certainly provides a satisfactory explanation for only a portion of criminality. The vast majority of criminality, especially socially tested ones, cannot be explained. In contrast, subculture theory is capable of providing a satisfactory explanation for the criminality of minority groups in all cases. However, it cannot be applied to all minorities in society, such as criminologically important youth. On the other hand, The criminal behavior of social fringe groups, such as drug addicts, antisocials, and youth gang members, can be explained by this explanatory model. Cohen derived his conclusions from studies of youth gang subcultures. The analysis aimed to recognize the different social classes in which each individual is located in a particular place, starting from American society. The weakness of subculture theory is that it can only explain a portion of criminality. Marwan E. Wolfgang and Franco Faracuti, 1967, have put forward a theory of the subculture of violence. Violence is learned and transmitted from generation to generation within a subculture. Within this system of behavior and values, people develop a lifestyle and mentality that favors violence. Violence manifests itself when the use of violence is not prohibited and does not cause a sense of fault in the perpetrator.